Дейzi Jones and the Six is a fictional oral history of the rise and fall of a 70s rock band. So it's the story of this band, Дейзи Jones and the Six, who becomes the biggest band of the 1970s, and then they break up one night after a show in July of 1979. And it's the story of why they broke up and how they rose to fame in the first place. My book that came out last year is called The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and it's about a movie star in Hollywood in the 1960s. And I really liked the idea of continuing to write about Los Angeles, but moving it to the Sunset Strip on the 70s. And when I thought about my favorite music from the 70s, it was a lot of that Southern California sound: Fleetwood Mac, the Eagles, Linda Ronstadt, Jackson Browne, and the Laurel Canyon scene from the 60s. There's Joni Mitchell and Crosby, Stills and Nash, and the Mamas and the Papas. I just got really excited and sort of nostalgic for that time. And it became inspiring enough that I felt like I could spend a lot of time there and really lose myself in that period of time. So I got very excited to really dig in. Дейзи Jones is, when we first meet her, she is a teenager who is living in the Hollywood Hills right behind the Sunset Strip in the late 60s. And she's beautiful, and she's been born with a lot of money, and her parents are completely indifferent to her existence. And so she's really looking for somewhere to belong. And she finds a place for herself in the world of rock on the Sunset Strip. And essentially she starts out as a groupie. She's hanging out with all of these musicians, and she meets her friend Simone. And in meeting Simone, she starts to find a place where she belongs a little bit. But on the Sunset Strip, when she's hanging out with these musicians, they're mostly interested in what she looks like, and she's much more interested in sharing what she has to say. And so that's her journey, is in trying to find a place in this world of rock where someone is interested in the art that she's creating. I feel like I started with the germ of Stevie Nicks and Lindsey Buckingham and Fleetwood Mac. That was really very exciting because I'd always been fascinated by them ever since I was a kid. And that's where it started. And then I just, in my research and listening to more music and familiarizing myself with some of these bands that I probably should have been more familiar with before, I got really into Bruce Springsteen, Tom Petty, again, like Linda Ronstadt, Joni Mitchell, Carole King. I was really into, and I also, because Дейзи Jones' best friend is a disco star, and so I got really into like Donna Summer and Diana Ross and people like that.